Hello. Welcome to the Sean Show. It's the Sean Show. It's the greatest show. So, what's going on, everybody? Episode 21. Thursday Night Football is completed. Washington Commanders versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Thought it was going to be a really good game. For some reason, I have not enjoyed watching defensive games so far this season. I don't know what it is. I normally do enjoy them. This season though, I'm just not feeling it. I want to see some big time plays. I want to see some big time catches. I want to see some big time action. I want to see some shootouts. Not really seeing those. Let's get to the agenda really quickly. So we've got that's a big one. We've got the plug and the show changes. We are in full effect right now with the show changes in the new time slot, creeping closer and closer to that time slot. I did start the show maybe 1 hour late today. I do want to get it a bit closer to the end of football time because I do know that it is quite late in the US at this point, and this is a work night for the US, and it's currently 1:05 a.m. in some places. 8 p.m. in Honolulu. What's up, Honolulu? Hope you're having a great day. 11 p.m. in Phoenix. Okay. All right, so we'll cut this back an hour. We'll cut this earlier an hour. Get this shit a bit more organized for you. The show does run Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. Today, I believe, is Friday. Excuse my budgies. This is one of the issues with this time frame, is that my pets are awake and I'm in the same room as them, and sometimes they can be pretty annoying. So please disregard the bird sounds. Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday. It is the Sean Show. The Sean Show doesn't run that long. We've been trying to keep it. We've been trying to keep it to a better time. Usually it's within an hour time frame now, which is great. So 30 minutes to an hour, usually about 45 minutes. The Saturday show can be the Saturday and the Monday show, which is Sunday and Friday for the US. They can be longer shows because the Saturday show we do our picks for Sunday football, and on Monday we review the games. So those can be pretty lengthy, particularly with how big the schedules can be. Right now, we've had a week last week where I don't think there was really anybody on bye. Don't quote me on that. No, the week before, I think nobody was on bye. The Packers were on bye last week. But yeah, sometimes that show can run a bit long, and we've got to do something about it. Maybe just go over the more interesting games rather than every single game, because some of them are absolute shitters and there's no point. There's no point. Oh my god. But as we move more into meaningful football, I guess we could kind of start to focus on those games a little bit more. Anyway, I don't want to go over the schedule again. You guys know what the deal is. If you don't know what the deal is, anyone know what the deal is, fucking tune in again tomorrow or watch a previous episode, because I normally go over it without the sound of birds. Oh my god. Alright, let's get to it. Let's get rid of this. So we're gonna go over the NFL Week 11 Thursday Night Football Washington Commanders Philadelphia Eagles game that just got played, and then we're gonna have a quick look at the NFC East playoff outlook. So first of all, let's get to this game. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Sub now if you're not subbed already. Right down here, where my mouse is at. Just sub to the channel. It will alert you when the show's on. If I do clips or posts or anything, then you'll know. I sometimes put out some bets, and if I do an extra bet, I usually put in a community post or something, so it's worth subscribing to the channel. Okay, so today's game was Washington Commanders versus the Philadelphia Eagles. This score does not really correlate how the game went. There was a garbage time touchdown at the end of the game for a 2-point conversion, so it was more so like a 26-10 game, but this is the final score. Washington scored the first touchdown early in the first quarter. Philadelphia was trailing until the fourth quarter, where they exploded, and then Washington Commanders scored a touchdown and a amazing 2-point conversion right at the end of the game. They went for a onside kick to try and get it back, and then hopefully go for a Hail Mary and 2-point conversion to take it to overtime, but unfortunately they failed the onside kick. Now, this 2-point conversion was amazing. If you haven't seen it, go and look up the highlight for that. Holy moly, Zach Ertz just gets his second toe in. Amazing body control. Amazing body control. The start of this game was no good, though. It was absolutely no good. We had 11 plays in a field goal, missed field goal, 3 and out. We had 6 plays in a punt, 4 plays in a touchdown, 3 plays in a punt, 3 plays in a punt, missed field goal, another 3 and out, another 3 and out, 9 plays in a punt, field goal after 15 plays, and then 4 plays at the end of the half. And this was just, that first half was just, it was shit to watch. It was absolutely crap. Absolutely crap. Yeah, tell them, budgies. The end of the game got a bit more interesting, but the spread of points was not that interesting, honestly. After this touchdown, it was very, very, very much in the Eagles' hands. This touchdown here, Saquon Barkley right end for 23 yards and a touchdown. He just blasted right through there. Just nail in the coffin, and then they threw an interception, and then they scored another touchdown. Oh, that was the one. He just absolutely blasted through there. 39-yard touchdown after 2 plays. That sealed it. That sealed it for them. Like I said, it wasn't the greatest game to watch. Let's have a look at the box score. How did everybody do? Jaden Daniels, rookie quarterback, going 2 for 32, 191 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Lost 20 yards from 3 sacks. 81 passer rating. Not great, not great. And then on this side, we've got Jalen Hurts. 18 for 28, 221 yards, 0 interceptions, 0 TDs. Lost 15 yards in sacks, and an 88.5 passer rating. Not great on the passing side of the ball. Really, it wasn't a fun affair to watch. Brian Robertson picking up a touchdown with 63 yards off 16 carries. Jaden Daniels getting 18 yards himself from 7 carries. Not really utilizing Austin Eckler that much in the run game. He did have a fair share of targets, the majority of targets actually, in the pass game, 89 yards. Zach Ertz getting 1 touchdown and the 2-point conversion, 47 yards off 6 of his grabs from his 7 targets. Amazing catch numbers right here. Amazing. You love to see it. On this side of the ball, AJ Brown, I thought he would have a bigger game. Terry McLaurin only getting targeted twice was a huge surprise to me, honestly. He's had games against Philadelphia Eagles where he's busted past 100 yards, and the same with AJ Brown. He did get more targets, but it just did not seem like they were really utilizing him that much. 5 receptions, 65 yards right there. Dallas Goedert also coming through in a big way, catching all of his 5 targets for 61 yards. Saquon Barkley picking up 52 yards off of 2 receptions from 3 targets. And then Devonta Smith also putting in the work for 29 yards. On the fumble side of the ball, nobody lost a fumble. That means that Philadelphia won the turnover battle by 1 interception. And then as we move down here, kick returns, nothing to write home about, nothing amazing. Kicking, Zane Gonzalez went 100%, picking up 4 points, and Jake Elliott did miss 2 field goals and an extra point. Doesn't matter. They slapped them. Now, like I said, this game was not that interesting to watch. Was a divisional, so it's going to be tight. It's either going to be a high scoring affair or else it's going to be absolutely low scoring in which this one was up until a certain point. Saquon Barkley just kind of broke free. I was expecting him to kind of get the under there as well. 146 yards and 2 touchdowns. Massive game for him. I don't really have much to say about this game. Commanders are now 3-3 away. Eagles are 4-1 at home, moving up to 8-2, hanging on to the division and making a stretch for it. Washington Commanders still have a bye that they need to go through. Obviously, the Eagles have had it, having played 10 games. Washington Commanders have their bye coming up. We will probably have a look at when that is. It's in 2 weeks. They get a really late bye. That could be good for them. Okay, so let's look at the next part of the agenda. This is going to be a pretty short show today. We've got the NFC East playoff outlook. Now, this division is a absolute rotating door in terms of who is in the lead. I do believe the Dallas Cowboys won the division last season, and that is not going to happen again this season. Looks like it's going to be either the Eagles or the Commanders. And we'll have a quick peek at who we think that's going to be once we have a look at their schedules very shortly. But yeah, nobody's really won this division twice since, I think, 2004? Which I think the Eagles maybe won it 3 times in a row. But that's a long ass time. We're in 2024. That's over 20 years that they haven't had a repeat division winner. So let's start from the very bottom. We are more than halfway through the season now. Obviously, these two teams have to play this week. And let's have a look at how they're going. So we'll start at the very bottom. The New York Giants. These guys, like, I don't know what we're even doing here. Like, they've just been beaten. They've just been beaten down. And this guy's the problem, I believe. I'm not sure if it's the... Not sure if it's the offensive style that just doesn't match him, or if he's just not really clicking too much with the playbook. I don't know. He's hesitating. He's not throwing the ball. Like, he runs great. He runs strong. He amps up his team, but when he throws the ball, man, it's really not good. So I don't know what the situation is. They did just pay him in this off season as they got rid of Saquon Barkley. I think they're kind of stuck with him. I could get an over the cap up. Let's see how long. Over the cap. Giants. Boom. Let's check. Let's check it out. How long are they in on this deal with Daniel Jones? Alright, so until 2026, another 2 years at least. Base salary of 46. Base salary of 30. What's the dead cap? Dead money, 22. It's really not nice. They have to keep him for at least 1 more year, I think. They have to keep him at least 1 more year. They're gonna get a high draft pick. It's gonna happen. Let's see who they have to play. Tampa. Well, they have a bye week this week, so they can probably try to figure their shit out, which I honestly doubt they will. Watching them was a horrible affair, and I'm really sorry if you're a Jets fan. Watching this Carolina game was just horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And I'm assuming watching the rest of these games was absolutely horrible. Tampa Bay, they're gonna lose. This one's a shit show. They could win that one. You don't know what's going on with Dallas. The quarterback right now, quarterback situation's not good. I haven't read too much into it. I'd assume they're probably going to just run with Trey Lance and see what they've got, because they have. I don't think they've won whenever they've had Cooper Rush in for a full game. New Orleans Saints. This is another shit show game. I'd expect the Saints to win that game. Baltimore. They're not beating Baltimore. They're not beating Atlanta. They could beat the Colts. Probably. You don't really know. You don't really know. And then Philadelphia, they're not winning that game. Definitely not. So it's surprising that it looks like they can win games here. That's really very surprising to me. Again, I don't think they're making playoffs. They're already got 8 losses. They've already got 8 losses. If we're looking at the tables here, check out the conference. Not the Pittsburgh Steelers, just the conference, please. Wow. What kind of internet am I on? What is this? What is going on with this website? Sheesh. Conference. Let's be patient. And then we want the NFC. Right down the bottom. There's no chance that they're making the playoffs. Cowboys, also very little chance that they have to make the playoffs. There's only 7 teams that are going to make it. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only 7 teams that are going to make it. I should have understood that there was a number 8 right there. And while they might not be mathematically eliminated, these guys have absolutely no fucking chance. Alright. Giants. Not going nowhere. Possibly getting a first round pick. The Dallas Cowboys. What are they sitting at right now? Also right near the bottom at 3 and 6. 6 is a lot of 6 is a lot of losses. It really, really is. Dak Prescott is out, underwent surgery. He's not coming back this season, unfortunately. Let's have a look at the rest of their season. They've already had the bye week. Again, I'm assuming that they're going to run with Trey Lance. Let's check out the depth chart. Got Cooper Rush there. Okay. Do what you do. Okay, so let's see what they're going to do here. They're probably not going to beat Houston. They're not beating Washington. Again, this game's going to be a shit show. They could win that game. They're probably not going to win that game, though. They're not beating Cincinnati. They could beat Carolina. Probably not going to beat Carolina, though. Then you're not winning against Tampa. You're not winning against Philly. You're not winning against Washington. So there's a good chance that these guys will be at the bottom of the NFC East at the end of this season. The New York Giants look like they've got a couple of games that they can actually win. So there's that. If we're really going to go over here and have a look at this, which I don't think we need to. Good chance that Dak is not with the team next year. Good chance that Big Mike McCarthy is not with the team next year. Let's have a look here. 2025. Dak Prescott is still on the books. Massive dead money right there, though. Wow, he's getting paid. He's getting paid for a while. He on the books for a while. Well, you know, somebody might pick up Dak's contract. He's not a bad quarterback. He's a very good quarterback. Somebody might pick him up. Who needs a quarterback right now? Who really needs a quarterback? Maybe the Browns. If the Browns have money, they might take him. Who else? Who else could take Dak? These guys are invested in May. These guys all have quarterbacks. They're good. They're good. Who the fuck are they running right now? They could pick up Dak. No, they've got Trevor Lawrence. What am I talking about? These guys could pick up Dak. Raiders could pick up Dak. Giants could pick up Dak. Who else could have him? The Bears could take him. Maybe give Caleb a rest. Panthers have Bryce Young. These guys all have their QBs. They might want to get rid of Derek Carr. There's a few spots for him, honestly. There definitely is a few spots for Dak Prescott if they want to try and get rid of him, and if somebody really needs a quarterback. This doesn't look good for them. This does not look good for them. Strength of schedule for the Dallas Cowboys is very, very difficult. Very strong strength of schedule. All right, now we move on. Let's go to the Washington Commanders, since they are now second in the division following today's game. I think they were likely still second because they'd already had 3 losses under their belt. How are these guys? Doing pretty good. These guys doing very good. Commanders losing most of their games away. These guys are 3-0 against the division and 2-1. 2-1 against the division. They need to keep this one strong. Let's see who they've got to play. Alright, Dallas. They're beating Dallas. Tennessee. They should beat Tennessee. Then they get their bye week. They should beat New Orleans. Then we get the rematch. And then we get they probably beat Atlanta there, and they probably beat Dallas there. So worst case scenario, they lose one more game to Philadelphia, which would put them at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What? 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 and 4. 12 and 4. 12 and 5. Fuck. Jesus Christ. Come on, brain. Put them at 12 and 5. Philadelphia Eagles, 2 wins ahead right now. Sitting very pretty to make the playoffs. The Washington Commanders can make the, overall, these guys are still in a very good position to make the playoffs in a wild card scenario. Where are we? Down here. They're currently sitting 5th overall. Look at this NFC North shit going on here. Absolutely wild. But yes, they are in a very good spot. They can, if they keep on winning, they can do it. And we look at this schedule. This schedule is a lot tougher. So they might even be able to clinch the division. I think when I looked at this the other night, I did have Washington clinching the division, but it was also based on tonight's particular game, which they ended up losing. But let's have a quick look. I did get sidetracked. Like I said, these guys are sitting pretty right up here. It is an extremely tight race, though. Extremely tight race. These guys on the rise. These guys on the decline. These guys on the absolute rise. Tampa has to win out to make the playoffs, and their schedule is they can win all those games, but that's for another time. That is for an absolute another time. Okay, so looking at the Philadelphia Eagles schedule, the final team sitting pretty on the top of this division with 8-2. Right there. Wow, jeez. Alright. What do they got? They got LA. This is going to be a tough game. LA is starting to pick up steam. I can't remember if they won a game. I think they did. They beat Miami. No, they lost to Miami. Yikes. What am I talking about? Lost to Miami. But they're going to get their shit figured out. It's not going to be an easy game for the Eagles. Next game, we've got Baltimore. That's going to be another tough game. These guys are absolutely crushing it right now. Should be second in the AFC, behind the Chiefs, obviously. Then you got Carolina. Eagles probably going to win this game. Pittsburgh, this is another tough game that they might lose. Pittsburgh are also rolling, similar record to Baltimore right now. Don't know who is actually sitting the highest right now over there. Seems like it's Pittsburgh. 0-0 in the division. They haven't played any divisional games. I do remember seeing they've got a lot of meaningful football coming up ahead. But back to this. Then we got Washington again, the rematch like we saw in Washington's schedule. Then you got Dallas and you got New York. So worst case scenario, you lose this, and this. So that's 4 losses, which would put them up to 6 losses, which would mean that Washington gets through. Now, let's say they somehow break even with Washington and they win this game, then they get through. But if they lose this game, if it were to end the way it is via point differential, I'm assuming they'd be even on the division because they're both going to steamroll these guys. And let's say they take one from another, that would give them the single loss. And then it would come down, I believe, to point differential. After divisional, I don't think we go to conference. I think we go straight to point differential. And the way it is right now, the Eagles would make it through. So, in the NFC, to answer the question, who's going to the playoffs? Not these guys. If you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, don't know what you're doing next year. If you're a Giants fan, don't know what your team's doing next year. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Dallas can bounce back. Giants, ugh. Everything on the team seems good except for the quarterback. That's all I gotta say. And I'm a Daniel Jones fan. Eagles should make it. Commanders could make it. It really, really depends. These guys have an easier schedule coming up than the Eagles. As we saw, the Eagles are a better team. This one could very much come down to the next matchup between these guys, which is the third last game of the season. But I think we're fair to say that the Eagles win this game. And even if both teams make it to the playoffs, these guys have not had the hardest run. Carolina, Chicago, Cleveland. Arizona was kind of figuring it out still. Philadelphia had to play the Green Bay, had a tight game against Atlanta. New Orleans before they were all banged up. Tampa. Tight game to Cleveland. Cincinnati as they got stronger. And then it just gets harder. They've got Baltimore, Los Angeles, fucking Pittsburgh. It's a tough road. It's a tough road for them. I mean, it's basically a similar road because they're both playing the NFC South. These guys obviously don't play the Packers, but they end up playing Chicago instead, which makes it objectively an easier schedule this season, even though these guys did get the win against Green Bay. That's enough waffling. That's what it's going to look like. Eagles are going to probably clinch the division. Again, comes down to that Washington Commanders game for this divisional record to make a play. We'll see that third last week of the season. I'll be back tomorrow with my picks and my bets for Sunday football. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed a little bit of the extra content. I know it was a bit dry. I didn't really plan it out. We'll plan it out next time. It was a short one today, and I'm glad about that. Till tomorrow, guys. Stay safe. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your day. I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace out.